Hello, long time no see. It's been actually a very long time since my last video, and so many things happened in this period, and I'm really happy that finally I can sit in front of the camera and talk with you guys and share with you about my life and all the things that are currently happening. These last few weeks, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, they've been really, really interesting, I would say. They were full of lessons, they were full of observations, and they were full of reflections. And again, now that I feel like we reached some kind of like stagnation point in a good way, I really want to share those with you. As updates, I've been really close with animals recently, even though some cats keep biting me. Still, like, sometimes I'm just sitting and they come and sit on me, and this is really, really sweet. Especially when I'm feeling down, which makes me emotional all the time. Like whenever during those last weeks, I was feeling sad or I was feeling like not really well, and I was just sitting, sometimes crying, sometimes just questioning everything, and then there is randomly like a cat passing by, and she's starting to like. Oh my god, my English went away. It's like she puts her head on me, she starts to like make me pet her. And then also there were dogs that I first thought that she's gonna bark at me, but she didn't. And she actually, like, I will put a picture here if I can. She was so sweet. She wasn't letting me go. But yeah, anyways, animals are really good in support. And I've also read that sometimes God sends, let's say, cats to you for you to feed them or like for you to pet them, because maybe like this cat was hungry for a long time, or maybe she really needed someone to pet her, which like is really sweet, because especially when you're feeling down and you're like, oh my god, this cat was, let's say, sent to me maybe to, like, maybe this cat needs me, right, for me to pet her, but I actually really need her as well. I actually also need to pet someone maybe, or like to feel this kind of warmness, warmth, warmness, oh my god, warmth. So yeah, this is some kind of intro, and now maybe I can actually start with whatever I wanted to say. There were so many things and so many things that kept evolving and changing forms, that this is, I think, the first video where I actually wrote everything down. Yeah, I wrote everything down not to forget any part, because I wanna talk about everything, the whole story, because it was full of downhills and uphills, and it was an adventure. It was an adventure of a lifetime if you look at it from the side of like feelings, emotions, thinkings, and everything. Like, it was very, very tense, and I feel like sharing with you only the bright side and the good side wouldn't be fair, because we're all ordinary people, normal people, and there are always the negatives, the bad side, that is also very important. And I don't really want to come and talk only about the good things, as if like that's the way it was. But these bad things, at the end they transform to something good, which is the beauty as well. So yeah, not to get very very abstract, I think maybe it's better for me to actually talk about things. So I won't go much of a detail like about the situations that happen. I want to mostly talk about the way I was feeling, like the way the situation made me feel, and what I experienced, and what helped me, and what didn't help me. So I just want to talk about everything, and whatever I will be talking about today, it comes from very different sources. So there are lectures from different professors, there are words of my sisters, of my friends, there are, what else is there? There are many things, many sources that somehow affected me, and I want to share every single part. So okay. Recently there were some situations that made me come up with some kind of decision, and this decision was not very easy, and it was not very obvious what is the best way, what is the most right way. And I think for the first time, not for the first time, but like I don't really experience such things. That's why I don't even know how to deal with them maybe right at the moment. I was questioning whether some decisions that I take, some actions that I do, are right. And I was constantly seeking for guidance in the way I need to address some kind of situation, and in the way how I should decide on that situation, what should I do with it. And basically the challenges with which I faced during those days were, I realized that we live in a very imperfect world, and we usually deal with very imperfect situations, very imperfect people, very imperfect structures, very imperfect rules. And what I mean by imperfect isn't necessarily something bad. It is just something that wouldn't probably be something that you would like to end up with. And I've been facing with those things all over again. So there is one day something happens, I get disappointed in people, in the society we live in the rules we need to follow, in the injustice that is happening there. And then I kind of felt that whatever we're doing is absolutely meaningless, because still there are so many imperfections around that, like, whatever we do, whatever we try to do, it won't get us anywhere. And maybe maybe some people have already faced with those things. Maybe some people actually have already seen the full picture of the world. But I feel like what happened to me was that I faced with it very, very closely, to the point where I couldn't deny it anymore, just never mind it and continue my life. And I couldn't do anything with myself in the way I am handling it, because I wanted to handle it quickly, I wanted to handle it in the best way. And I felt that whatever I was doing there was wrong. Whatever I was doing with the purpose of closing, or with the purpose of finally concluding something, it just opened something else. Or like something else was opened by something else again. And this was just a loop of challenges that were lasting like literally for the past few weeks, and I couldn't recover from like one. Then there is another one coming, and I was really feeling very low. I really don't want to like complain or nag. I'm just trying to describe the whole picture. And again, because I feel like I always knew what I should do. Like I always knew what is the right thing. I always knew how I should act, how I should respond, how I should handle things. The challenging part of this was the fact that I didn't know what is the best thing to do. And again, whatever I was doing, I felt like it's not making things better. And I started questioning myself a lot. I was thinking, why am I not being able to leave this loop? Why am I not being able to finally be out of it? And the thing that really scared me was the fact that maybe this is somehow the way the God is punishing me, maybe for something, because like maybe things that I am doing because I think they are right to do are actually wrong to do, and that's why God doesn't let me pass this kind of test, because I keep passing it wrongly. And that was something that made me feel really scared and made me question myself even more. And then whenever there is this questioning, you cannot really even continue acting, because you are still stuck in the past and the way if whatever you did there was right or no. And then there is another thing that you need to decide, there is another way that you need to act, behave, respond. And then there is like also questioning in your head, did I do the other thing right? Will I be able to do this thing right now? Or is everything that I'm doing just putting me in a worse state of mind that I was there before? And genuinely, that was just a loop. That was not finishing ever. And I was thinking that I'm just getting deeper and deeper in that, and there is no way out. And I don't know, I hope I am able to explain this fear that was in me, because I really want to act in the best way. I really want to take the best decision. But then I cannot get a clarification or confirmation that whatever I'm doing is right. And then just, you cannot continue and you cannot stop. And you just don't know what to do. And I remember that there was a video that I watched after that. Like I was thinking of everything like that, and I was really seeking for guidance and seeking for help and seeking for some kind of signs. And then I saw a video about love and fear, And one of the sheikhs, he was explaining this concept of feeling such a deep fear of God, but at the same time having so much love for him. And he was talking about the way some people confuse those things. And what he said was that you fear not the punishment, but you fear to upset someone that you really love. And think about it. Even when it was your parents, with your friends, with your beloved ones, you fear that you will say something or do something that will make him sad, right? And you don't really, obviously there is some kind of punishment, but what you really care about is the way that you make them feel, and you understand that you make them feel sad, and you want to avoid it, right? You want to avoid it in the best way possible. And that was what he was saying, that this fear that we feel from God is born from love rather than from something else. This fear is coming from love, and you actually fear to upset with your actions, with your words. And it made me feel very differently, because on the bright side I am thinking, okay, I feel this fear that I upset God because I love him so much. But then at the same time, if I actually did upset him, is this the way he's punishing me or no? And again, I believe whenever you are in some situations that you cannot think very maybe objectively, you lose this truth, you lose this 0 point that you have, and your principles and your basics kind of start distorting, and you don't understand what is happening, because the conditions are also distorted. And usually, let's say you take some kind of decision and then you live according to it, but then I believe what happened with me was that there was a decision, then another decision, another reply, another response, and you cannot recover from the previous one. There's already something else that you need to think of, and it was not letting me in my state of mind to comprehend whatever is happening. And then again, you cannot stop because things don't stop, and you cannot continue because you cannot continue. Like when I was feeling this way, when I was feeling that maybe I did something wrong, I was constantly asking for signs or guidance for me to make sure that I didn't. And that whatever I did was actually the right thing to do, the correct thing to do, and the way I feel is not because I'm getting punished, but the way some people make you feel maybe. And I was asking for the signs to show me that I'm not on the wrong path. And then I kept hearing and seeing things that convinced me that what I did wasn't wrong. And because I was fearing that I somehow, I don't know how it's in English, let me translate it. Taking someone right. If you just translate it directly, it's taking someone right. And I was fearing that I am doing this. And again, this comes from me questioning myself, even though everyone that knows whatever is happening, and even I, when I try to look at the situation objectively, I know that I'm not. But then sometimes you just dive into this and you question yourself so much that you lose the truth. And I was really scared of that. I was really scared that I upset God by being unfair to someone. And then I was asking for signs to show me that that's not true. And the signs that I was getting were actually crazy. They actually showed that, in contrast, some things are being unfair to me. And this is just my natural response to this. Because you wouldn't let people get to your rights, right? And my natural reaction, I was questioning my natural reaction to things that were done unfairly to me. And this is a kind of, so when I think of it, I'm like, okay, I asked for it, and then there was this thing that I learned that is really unfair to me, and that has nothing to do with the truth. So what does it mean? It means that whatever I did wasn't wrong. And then after that, what was coming was the disappointment in how unfair things are, and how sometimes truth is distorted so much and people actually believe in it. And whatever you do in this life, whatever you do, it won't change a thing. It won't change a thing for some specific people, and there is nothing that you can do with that. And I will come to the lessons and reasonings and everything, but I just want to still explain the whole situation. Whenever you feel that something was done unfairly to you, this can be anything. This can be someone speaking badly. This can be something like physical harms. A person is like trying to, really harm you, or people are trying to worsen your image, to worsen your reputation, to worsen the way people think of you, or they want to sabotage you. There can be anything. Again, that was the first time that I encountered this. That's why maybe I didn't have an experience with that. I didn't know how to comprehend it with myself in the most peaceful and most in the best way for me. Outside, I was trying my best, and I believe that I did my best in the way I was handling it. However, what I was really struggling with is the way I am dealing with it with myself. Because I saw the outcomes on my health, I saw the outcomes with my family, with my friends, with anything, and every aspect of my life was getting tested and checked, and I was still trying to stay sane in the way I'm handling this outside. So what I want to also say, because that was an insane sign as well, whenever I felt whenever I first encountered with a situation when let's say whatever was there wasn't right, I encountered with another video on YouTube of where there is a sheikh. His name is Mufti Menk, and I really watched him a lot during this period, and he really helped me reflect on some things and understand some things. And there was a video that he had about when someone acted bad with you. And what specifically affected me was the way he was talking about when someone is saying something rude to you, or something he's saying from anger, or he's spreading rumors, let's say, right, about you, or he's trying to like somehow sabotage your position or anything. I think everyone can interpret it in very different ways, with regards to whatever he's experiencing. And this part about like all the rumors, it was so helpful. Basically what he was saying there, I really want to share it because I feel like many people maybe encounter this in school, because there is a lot of those like high school dramas and everything. I was really lucky to have a very friendly group in my school, and we were so much away from all of that. But some lessons need to be learned, and this is it's good that at least I had it here in university, not in the future, you know. So again, I will come back to the grateful part, but still. And the first reaction when you hear that someone is doing something is related to you, you wanna have back your right there directly. You wanna stop this. You wanna prove that that's not right. You wanna make sure that no one believes that. And you basically just wanna fight with it. You wanna fight with whatever is being said about you. And this is very normal, obviously. We're human beings. We don't want anything wrong to be said about us. But then it creates some kind of anger, right, in you. And this anger, this feeling, it is not a I don't want to like label it, but it's not a good feeling. It won't make you do something nice. It won't push you to do something that will benefit you at the end. And whatever is like causing anger in you, or whoever is causing anger in you, this situation or that, I don't know, whatever, it means this can control you, because this can control the way you're acting. And this is a beginning of understanding that you are more powerful than those things, that you actually have the power in you to know what can affect you. And you are the one that is giving importance and giving value to things that make you feel in a certain way. And I know that sounds very, very perfect. I struggled a lot to actually accept it and comprehend it and apply it. So it's very normal if you cannot act upon it right away. But it's just something that you need to keep in mind, that if this something can control you and cause so much anger, then it means it's very powerful, which it's not, and it shouldn't be, right? You're more powerful than that, and you are the one that can do something with it. That was what he said, by the way. He said, you need to understand that they showed their colors, but those colors are not mine. I will still smile all the way to the end, and I will know that you don't butter my bread. And that was the thing that he used, and I really liked it. You don't butter my bread, right? My butter and my bread is coming from God. So he is the one that should have control or what will affect me. Therefore, if God is the one that should make you feel in a certain way, those situations should be addressed with feelings that are born when you think of God, rather than the ones that you think of when you think of this situation. Oh my God, that was such a hard sentence. What I mean is that you should be controlled by what you feel when you think of God in such situations, and never by what you feel when you think of something that was done to you unfairly. And it took me so long to finally act upon it, because whatever is said about you. Let's say another example. You're passing by, and a girl is telling you, your blue hair looks so bad. Would you react to it if you know that your blue hair is actually brown? Would you think of it? You would think probably that person is crazy. or I don't know, probably she looked at someone else, or maybe she confused the colors, right? So you wouldn't doubt you. Oh my God. You wouldn't doubt yourself. You would doubt the person that is saying it. Because you know for sure that your hair is not blue. If we apply the same things to whatever was said about you, if you don't have doubt that this is not about me, you would never get upset by that. Or maybe you would get upset by that, but that will go away, because after that you are like, well, I know for sure that that's not true. That's not about me. So why would I get sad about that, right? Because you know your worth, and you don't doubt that. You know yourself. You know why you were acting in the way you acted, and as long as we're trying to do it in the right way, then everything else is not really dependent on you. And as long as you are sure about that, you should not let anything, any evil, anything bad, anything unfair, you should not let it question or lose the good that you have. Nothing bad should make you lose the good that you had. Don't lose, he said it, don't lose your great character and conduct because someone else lost theirs. And that's not about, oh, the person that did it, he's such a bad person and you're such a good person because you didn't let it affect you. No. You are also a bad person at some situation, and you're also a good person. That other person is also good in some way and bad in some way, and the third person is also good and bad, and that's the way we were created. And whenever you feel like something was done wrongly to you, what he was saying was that, let me scroll to that. Yeah, and he was saying there that whenever something wrong, something unfair is done towards you, it is actually a chance for you to do something that you would probably not be doing if not this situation. So you actually, by getting in this unfair situation, you obtain a chance to have a worship that you would never be able to have maybe, or you would never feel like having if not this situation. I just realized that I didn't put my microphone. The sound before that was bad, I'm really sorry. So yeah, what was I saying? What is happening when someone is doing something bad towards you or something unfair? is that this is a test now for you as well. So this is a test for both sides. To the person that is doing something and to you. And let's say maybe on his side that person failed. But you still have an opportunity to pass or fail. If you continue, if you reply to this, if you respond to this, would be the same level, same, I don't know, you also start like spreading something, then you fail as well, and then there is not much difference between you guys, because it doesn't matter who started first. At the end, you end up doing the same thing, which means that you failed both tests. However, there is also another way of reacting to this, is when you laugh, when you keep your smile on, when you know for sure that that's not true, and you just pray for their heart to get softened. God maybe gives them some time to understand their mistake, and to repent in a way. And even if you feel like during those times something was really unfair to you and everything is happening to not your benefit and you're so sad about it, maybe it's just God giving them time to fix. And just pray for them as well to understand this and to actually pass this test, because we are all having so many tests in our life, and God knows only how many of them we passed, how many of them we failed. So genuinely just ask for both of you to pass this test. Even if person did something wrong, maybe he will understand it and he will fix. Or maybe your first reaction to this was not the best, and you also then try to fix yourself. Yeah, so what he was saying there, I will just read it. You will be judged by Allah based on your qualities, your statements, not someone else's statements. So when they said something bad, that was between them and Allah. They will be judged by what they've said. But because of your slight involvement, in the sense that you are the third party, now Allah is watching you too. What are you going to say? Like on his, again, what I said again, on his side he failed, or her side she failed, because of what she said. You have an opportunity still to pass or fail. Tell yourself, this is my chance to engage in an act of worship that I would never have been able to engage in had it not been for this issue. And this affected me so much. This helped me so much. Because again, I saw how even in the situation where you don't see how this can benefit you in one way or another, in this dunya, it will benefit you in the afterlife, inshallah. And you are the one choosing if it will benefit you or if it will harm you. And that was a very powerful realization for me, and it actually made me feel better for a few days, at least. And then I remember that I woke up in one of the mornings. I couldn't sleep properly. I was sleeping like a few hours. My head was always hurting, very high tension, and like. Anyways, I wasn't able to sleep, and I woke up in one of the nights before the prayers, and I opened Quran and I started reading it, and that's my first time reading Quran, so there is no way that I'm choosing a surah or something. I'm just going where I stopped, and just by a pure accident, the thing that I was reading, I am reading it in Azerbaijani, but I'm going to translate it. It was saying that whatever is spread around people, only God knows what is true and what is not true. And if you hear that something is not true and you believe in it, don't you question it? Or if you say something that is not true, don't you question yourself why you did that? And that was just something that I read literally in the moment where I needed it the most, where I needed a confirmation that Allah sees the unfairness that is happening. Because at some point I felt like no one is seeing it. And there is no way out of it. And then I'm just reading this and I understand that why am I seeking someone to see it if God is seeing everything anyways? What I was also struggling with was the fact that I need to address the situation in the best way, because there are people, I don't know, I always feel like if someone is watching me, they should be proud of the way I'm handling it. And I was also getting sad that I cannot handle it the best way, and that I am feeling so bad, and that I am like sacrificing my health maybe somewhere. And I was just trying to reach it. I was trying to be as mature and mindful as this all sounds. And like, it's very... I wish you can take yourself from that brain, from that mindset, and put you in the mindset that actually benefits you and actually helps you. It's really hard, but wallah, after it takes a bit of time, it's possible. Just try to repeat those things again and again and again and again to yourself. And then at some point you will just accept it. You will understand it. It will sit in your mind, but it needs time. And don't stress yourself and don't blame yourself because you take time to handle those things, because those things are not normal for you to handle them normally. And they need time. Just try your best not to harm yourself during those times. Try your best to keep your health up, keep your mood up, try it. But if you can't, don't blame yourself, please. Because that's normal. That's the way we're created. And there was another quote that really, really affected me. Bad things are actually a doorway to much greater good. True faith is to remain steadfast in good times and in bad, knowing that both are a test from the most merciful. And these were like trying to, put me back on this path, put me like back to hope, to faith, to believe that everything is okay. Nothing bad is happening. Even if it's happening, it's okay that it's happening. But then again, as I was saying, like again, you understand how to address one thing, and then another thing happens, and you're like, oh my God, is it continuing more and more again? Like, when is this gonna stop? Another quote, it was saying, it's from Quran. We will test you with some fear and hunger and loss of wealth, and lives and crops, but give good news to those who patiently endure. And the best thing that you can do during those hardships is to ask for patience, and is to ask for sanity, to stay a bit at least. But just be patient. Even if you feel like there is no end for it, be patient, and for sure there will be an end. Nothing lasts forever. Even if you feel like it lasts forever, nothing does. You know what does? Afterlife. So while you are waiting for these hard times or good times to finish or start, try your best to make sure you're passing the tests. And again, this was one of the parts, but then I feel like the broader topic that challenged me so much was again, as I said in the beginning, the realization that there is no justice, there is no fairness, and most probably you'll get disappointed in people, in the way they live, in the way in the society that we live in the world, in the structures, in the organizations that you need to follow. You will get disappointed because, as my sister said, everyone has their own truth. And rules are unique, but sometimes some people don't even have the rules. And turns out rules and regulations can be updating infinitely, and at the end you will never get them because they don't exist, and some people just act based on their pure opinion. And there will be no way for you to prove your truth, your points, because there are no rules and regulations that you can refer to. And this says nothing about your truth. This says everything about the way some people live and work. And for the last few weeks, I was feeling that I'm living in 1984 book by Orwell. And this was the scariest part, because when I was reading this book back when I was studying, when I was a student in school, I was so scared that this can ever happen and we can end up with such society. And then I realized that, oh my God, we already started living in it. And again, this was the first time that I've encountered such thing face to face, very closely. I know that probably many people at work or in their other projects, they face this unfairness, this lack of structure, lack of rules, lack of regulations, and lack of rights and lack of justice. And people are struggling with it. But for me, it was so hard because that was my first time facing this, where I realized that there are no rules that you can refer to get your truth proved. And this truth can be changing every day. So you can go one day to someone and you ask for the procedure and they will tell you, do 1, 2, 3. And then you act upon it, you do 1, 2, 3, then you come back and they will say, no, you should do 2, 3, 1. And you cannot prove the previous one because they reject the very existence of them saying it. And then you come third day and they say, what 2, 3, 1? There is no such thing. There is 4 that will tell you what next to do. And I was losing my sanity, okay? Because that again worsens the situation, because what gives you calmness is the fact that you have some kind of plan. So you are in such in any situation, you are like, okay, what can I do with it? I will ask what I should do with it, and they will tell me, do 1, 2, 3. I will go and I will do 1, 2, 3, and I have some kind of plan, some kind of peace for this time. But then while you're doing 1, 2, 3, they're telling you, no, you need to change it to 3, 2, 1, and it's never ending. And you don't even understand at this point where is the truth, like, let alone be the fact that you don't know if you're doing it right. You don't even know if people that you're asking for an advice, for a guidance, or even helping you. I was really struggling with this feeling that there is no justice in this world. I was hoping that as long as you approach people with good intentions and as long as you try your best to be nice, you will get that back. It turns out that's not true. That's not always the case. And you need to live with it. But now that I know how to handle it, I will, like, for those who are struggling with this realization, maybe the things that I will be telling you will make you feel better because they made me feel better. Yeah, so coming now to the lessons or things you can apply and I can apply. Hopefully no one needs to apply those, but just in case. You need to think and you need to constantly remind yourself, that's also by the way from the lecture, that you will never find any peace if you're waiting for things to be absolutely perfect in this life. If you don't let go of this idea, you will never ever feel in peace. And this peace is the most important thing for us. This peace is the only thing that is important. And whatever situation you're ending up, and there is one person trying to take you there, look, there is this, then another person, oh, there is this, you need to worry about that, you need to worry about this, you need to handle this. If you feel that everything is overpowering, everything is overstimulating, you take your hand, you put it on your heart, and you remind yourself what is really important. Nothing else is. Even if you feel like if you stop right now, nothing will stop. Like, things are going and you just stop there. No, it's not the case. Sometimes we just lose this understanding that we can stop. We can take a break and then continue when we feel better, and this will be better than pushing yourself to the point where you cannot stand up from the bed. So remind yourself what is important: your heart, your state, your peacefulness, your calmness, and nothing else, regardless of how serious the problem is more important. Stop everything, literally, like, never mind everything, and think of yourself. And then, even if you do it for just half of a day, true answers and right decisions, they will somehow come to you. And this is a lesson I learned about how somehow you need to address those overstimulating situations. Now, regarding the justice and fairness part, this was the hardest thing for me to accept. But we will never be able to get justice in this world. And whatever we're seeking to have in this dunya is impossible to get. There is no way that you will get it. There is no way that you will get perfection. There is no way that you will get full justice, fairness, rainbows, butterflies. No way. This dunya was not created this way. This dunya was created for people to fight for a place where all those things can be achieved, which is paradise. If this dunya would be created ideal, perfect, the way we want it to be, then no one would try so hard to get to paradise. If your good times in this life they would be lasting forever, you would probably not worship anymore. Because that's also a very human thing to do. We ask for help, we ask for guidance when we're feeling sad or bad. When we're good, we think that we don't need to. So that's the beauty of the way God created this dunya. He created it imperfect. He created it imperfect. And in this imperfection, you cannot control everything. Everything is in His hands. And the best that we can do is to pray as deeply as we can and wait for Him to act. He's already acting. Wait for Him to continue His control. And just pray that you will start seeing His hand in it. And the reason why God puts us in situations where we get disappointed from people, mostly from people, is for us not to tie our hearts so deeply to people. Not deeply enough to get disappointed from them, at least. And these situations, with these kinds of situations, God shows us how imperfect people are and how imperfect we are. And the beauty of it is that it's not for us to get disappointed in people or in the society or in the life we're living, because that was kind of my mindset. And I was trying to let go of it because I know that's not right. But you get disappointed from all the injustice, from all the bad things that are happening in this world. And whatever I'm talking right now is very, very small injustice that is happening within a university, maybe, I don't know, a very small structure. And there are so many things happening in life. I won't even start calling it. I know that everyone, especially watching this channel, thought of something. And everyone has their own situations, and there is so much injustice. And it's never a reason for us to get disappointed in people or in life that we're living, but instead to just accept the nature, to just accept the nature of people, of the life we live in. And even if you have close people to you and they have a lot of good qualities, and there are a lot of people that you're not really close with and they also have a lot of good qualities, but still, they are imperfect. He is the only one that is perfect. You're seeking for justice in people, even though they don't see everything, they don't know everything, but God knows everything. You're seeking for help from people, even though God is the only one that can help you. You're seeking for people to see the truth, even though He already saw it, and He already knows it, and He already sees it. We need to stop seeking things that we will not ever be able to get in this dunya. And then we will have so much peace, because we will know from whom to ask what. And indeed, from God we can ask everything. And we will know then to whom to tie our hearts to. Of course, there are very close people. There are people that you love a lot. Your family, your friends. But still the only one that you tie your heart so deeply to is God. Because He is the only one that will never disappoint you. And ask from Him. Because He loves when you ask for Him something. Ask for the things that you want to have. Because indeed you were put in a situation like that to ask. Indeed He put you in such situation for you to worship, for you to ask more than you would before. And this is also very, very, very insane. Because when you think that everything is so bad and there is no benefit for you, or that you are being punished for something, God actually puts you in a position that will make you pray more for Him. And that's one of the best ways of worshiping, is to pray for Him and ask for His guidance and support and help. And then we get rewarded for that. We get rewarded for things that we think were unfair for us. And even if in this world we don't get this fairness and we don't get this justification for people that did something bad or wrong or unfair to you, you are already getting rewarded, and that's the only thing that you need to worry about. Because the only thing that you need to worry about is the way your image is in front of God, not in front of other people. And as long as you pray, as long as you seek for guidance and God is rewarding you, you don't need any other rewards from anyone else in this world. You don't need people to talk nicely about you. If God doesn't talk nicely about you among the angels, maybe, you know. And after this is all, after I started feeling slightly bit better, I actually realized what a privilege it was for me to pass through this. Have such things even to worry about. It's just a privilege. It just turns into gratitude, because you get grateful for the fact that God gave you a struggle and a challenge, for you to have a chance to get more rewards, and for you to get a chance for more sawabs. And this was something that kept me going. Again, as in all the videos that I've done before, even if you don't see the meaning right there, you don't see why this is happening, at least think of the reward that you get for the injustice, and pray for you to pass this test, and pray for them to pass it too. And then I also, because whenever you end up in some bad situation, or like something that is really bothering you, you feel like that's the most important thing. And that's the most serious problem, and that's the worst thing that could ever happen to a person. And then I was being reminded, and I was trying to remind myself about everything that people are passing through, and not to compare or to diminish the importance of what is happening to you, but just as a cold shower, very bad things are happening to people around, and it never is a reason to lose your faith in this world. because you are choosing what you are focusing on. There are very bad things and there are very good things, and the fact that there are bad things, they don't remove the good things that are there. And now that I'm saying it, I realize that's something that Chris Martin is always saying about. And it's always you're going up and you're going down. But it's important when you're down to think of the time that you were up and ask from God to take you there back. And then when you're up there, to still remember that there is down there as well. And be grateful to God for not putting you there. And I just hope that this balance is something that we can always have in ourselves, in our hearts. And there was another quote, I want to read it too. It says, "What a privilege it is to look forward to sleeping under a roof after a long day, to be tired from chasing goals, not survival, to call education stressful because it means we had the chance to learn, and to drink water when you're thirsty, eat when you're hungry, sleep when we're tired, and to be healthy enough to try again tomorrow. What a privilege." And this is so true. What a privilege it is for you to call such situations stressful, for you to call this unfairness that is happening to you the worst one that you ever had. What a privilege. Yeah, these are just some things to keep in mind whenever you feel like you are in the worst position ever. You definitely aren't. And definitely already there is a very bright and very clean and very full of rewards paths open for you from God. Maybe you are already walking on this path, but you don't. But you're blind a bit to see it. As an addition to this thing about good and bad, another situation that happened that really affected me. So in one of the mornings, I was outside. I was going to have a class, and I was just sitting outside trying to reconnect with nature, and I was thinking of something, and it made me really sad. And then I came to the class and my mood was really down, and I was thinking about, again, how unfair everything is. And how... Anyways. And then I was just thinking, I was in this loop. And then randomly a friend of mine, Iram, if you're watching this, hello. She texted me, "Hey, your hair looks so good today." And that was so random and so unexpected and so sweet, because I understood at this point that she's probably sitting somewhere behind me and she saw me, and she felt like sharing this with me and complimenting me. And I thought, oh my God, what a good of a person you are. She didn't even know that my mood is down or something. She probably just said it because she felt like saying it. And then I thought, in this world there are those people and there are other people. Why are we choosing to focus on ones and don't focus on others? Again, we're giving control to what angers us and not to what makes us feel better, which we shouldn't do, right? And you still probably would feel bad, you would still cry, but the tears feel lighter, and it was saying in the video, if your heart quiets when thinking of God, when stillness comes from planted remembrance from God, that's how we find rest. Even despite the fact that you still don't have answers to your questions, you still don't have answers to your questions, but at least you have some kind of peace and rest in this dunya that is full of chaos and noise. The most important thing and the most, I think, expensive thing that a person can have is this feeling of peace and rest. And in case, if the name of God, it brings you peace, if Quran slows your heart, or any kind of lectures, they stop your thoughts, or they somehow at least make them more beneficial, that is rest as well. Sometimes rest is not only finding answers and knowing what to do, but at least knowing where to turn to seek for help, to seek for answers. And yeah. I fully, I think, emptied my heart finally. My dear followers, please take care. Always keep in mind that nothing in this world is more important than your heart and the state of your heart. Try not to tie your heart too much to this life and to people. Only to God. And then this way you will not get disappointed. I hope everything is good with you. If you feel bad, I hope you feel better. If you feel good, I hope you feel even better. So, yeah, I hope whenever you watch it, you have a very nice day and you meet very nice people. Bye-bye.